teachers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we talk everything special education. If that interests you, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. Today, we're delving into a sobering reality. We are going to be talking about the academic gap between students born into poverty and their more affluent peers. Join me as we explore 10 reasons why this gap persists and the impact it has on students' academic performance. Go ahead and comment below and let me know if you're teaching in a low-income school. All of my teaching experiences have been in low-income schools. So go ahead and comment below and let me know. The first reason that I want to talk about today, why students in poverty could potentially have a harder time performing academically. The first reason is the lack of access to early childhood education. We know that children born into poverty often have limited access to quality early childhood education programs, which can definitely set them behind their peers before they even enter kindergarten. One really awesome program that has been up and coming is called Head Start. My own child actually went to a Head Start program and it was amazing, and I couldn't recommend this program more. Not every community has a Head Start program, but they definitely should. Reason number 2, overcrowded classrooms. Schools in low-income areas may face overcrowding, leading to larger class sizes, as we all know, and less individualized attention for students, which definitely makes it harder for them to succeed academically. The third reason is limited access to resources. Students in poverty-stricken neighborhoods may lack access to adequate resources, such as textbooks, technology, which is definitely a big one nowadays, and school supplies, hindering their abilities to excel in their academics. The fourth reason is economic instability. Families living in poverty often face economic instability, with parents working multiple jobs or struggling to make ends meet, leaving less time and energy for supporting their child's education. You might compare this to a family who is financially stable and maybe there's a stay-at-home parent. Who is going to perform better? The student who gets home from school and their parent or parents are still working and really don't have time to focus on extra homework that students might be having or just working on academics in general, or a student who has a stay-at-home mom or dad who has time to sit down and do homework with their child every single day after school. I think the answer to that is obvious. And I know that every family isn't fortunate enough to have a stay-at-home parent, but just comparing families who do have this awesome opportunity to have a stay-at-home parent, I can definitely understand why those students are definitely more at an advantage. The fifth reason is food insecurity. Hunger and malnutrition can significantly impact a child's ability to concentrate and learn in school, affecting their academic performance and just, of course, their overall well-being. In my own experiences, I did have students who I'm pretty sure went home hungry. And luckily there was a program at our school where every Friday students got to take home these brown bags that were filled with food, and actually high school students with disabilities were the ones who packed them every Friday. This was really rewarding. But anyways, it made me feel a lot better that those students who had families who were under the poverty line did have a little bit of food at home. But those students obviously have way more to worry about than students who have access to a full kitchen of food. The sixth reason is limited healthcare access. Students from low-income families may lack access to healthcare services, including vision and dental care, which can affect their attendance, concentration, and overall academic success. The seventh reason is housing instability. Students experiencing homelessness or housing instability may face frequent moves, disruptions in schooling, and a lack of stability, impacting their academic progress and emotional well-being. I once had a student who was homeless, and their families would have to move from shelter to shelter, and this child did have to move to different schools, and it definitely impacted this student a lot. When she was put into my class, I get teary because I literally love this student so much, but anyways, when she was put into my class, she seriously blossomed, and again, I just loved her so much, and that's probably why she really loved my classroom so much, was because we had this amazing connection. But then unfortunately, just a few months later, their family had to move, and she came to school crying, and it was seriously devastating because I knew that that wasn't what was best for this child, but of course, their family needed to do what they needed to do. So you can't tell me that a student who has a stable home and a stable place to live won't have more success than a child who is moving from place to place. Whew. Anyways, as we know, this child and children all over the world like her obviously have bigger things to worry about and focus on than academics. They're worrying about where they're going to sleep that night. Number 8 is language barriers. English language learners from low-income backgrounds may face additional challenges in the classroom due to language barriers, making it harder for them to fully engage in learning and communicate with teachers and their peers. One of my teaching experiences was in a school where there were probably 3 to 4 students in each elementary classroom that didn't speak any English, like 0. There were translators in the building, but of course, being in a classroom where you don't speak any English and the majority of the other students and your teacher just speaks English, this is a huge disadvantage. Number 9 is trauma and adverse childhood experiences. Students who are living in poverty are more likely to experience trauma and adverse childhood experiences, which can impact their cognitive development, behavior, and their ability to learn. Number 10, last but not least, lack of positive role models. Students born into poverty may lack positive role models and mentors who can inspire and support them academically and personally, making it harder for them to envision a brighter future. Again, in the small little town that I lived in at one point in my life, a lot of these students' parents had just stayed in this town for their entire lives. And that was all that these students saw. They never got to see a brighter future or that there was more out there than just the Walmart in this small little town. So I always made a point to try to explain that to my students, that there is more out there and there is more that you can achieve. Not saying that staying in your small town is a bad thing, but I just still think that these students need to know their options. In conclusion, the academic achievement gap between students born into poverty and their more affluent peers is a complex issue. Addressing the underlying factors contributing to this gap, such as access to resources, economic stability, is crucial for ensuring that all students have the opportunity to succeed academically and reach their full potential. I really truly hope this video helped you. Us as teachers, we know a lot of these points, but the general public, I feel like, doesn't realize what a disadvantage students who are born into poverty truly are at. To be honest, in my opinion, politics aside, like, they are truly at a disadvantage. You can't tell me that a child who is not born into poverty and has everything that they need, they have food in their kitchen, they have a place to sleep, they have parents who truly have a lot of time for them, that they don't have a better chance of succeeding in life than a child who doesn't even have a place to sleep at night or has to worry about what they're going to eat or where they're going to find their own food at maybe the age of 5. Anyways, I could go on and on about this topic because I really feel very, very passionate about this. So let's move on. I really hoped that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're looking for some free resources for your classroom, as always, make sure to check out the links in the description of this video. Also, I have a bunch of activities available in my TPT shop that you can purchase for your special education classroom. My TPT shop is called Activity Teacher. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week. Happy teaching.